Hey guys, welcome to Birdie Little Secrets. I'm Kass, that's Syd, and it's time to spill the tea. Hey little birdies, welcome back to another week of Birdie Little Secrets. You can probably see something different going on.
Maybe
a
little
beauty. No, who are we kidding? We have been sitting here for 2 hours trying to get this set up.
Yeah.
There's lighting situations going on. We gotta take a picture of what this actually looks like behind the scenes.
Exactly. We just know beginner is a word. Startup, first time.
Yes.
Give us some grace a little bit.
1% better each time.
Exactly.
Is what we're going
Exactly.
for. As long as nothing dips to black or falls over or spills, I think we'll be okay.
We are the only ones allowed to spill the tea here.
Yeah. Ooh.
Thank you.
See, these are the moments we need to catch on camera.
Absolutely.
And so I'm so happy we're doing this. But also actually we should have been more excited coming out of the beginning of this. Guys, this is hi on camera. Hi.
We're here.
We're here. We've been talking about this for so long. Thousands of people have been asking us to do this.
Right. So many that we lost track. The number is so huge that we can't even tell you the exact number because it's so big.
Right. And so basically we're here for you.
Yeah.
And
100%.
That's why we're doing this now. And what better way to do it than this week, the Players Championship.
Can you believe it's here already?
No.
I can't believe it's actually Players Week. I think I texted you and I'm like, I don't know if I'm mentally prepared for this.
You did. Yeah. It's slightly concerning.
Yeah.
It's definitely showing how quick time goes and how fast we're aging.
I think you're turning 30 this year.
Okay. So anyways, before we get to the Players Championship, guys, we're going to talk about Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Yeah, right. We can't skip over Arnie's place.
And specifically because there are so many things that happens, a lot of things.
Too many, again, to even count, but we're going to break it down for you.
Yes.
First off, there's a new Cardigan King.
A new Cardigan... Oh,
title.
Can't even say that. Cardigan King. Wow. Yeah. That is a title.
I've been thinking about that for 5 days.
I was going to say that was a little tongue twister for me. So I'm glad that you have it. But he looks good in red. Russell Henley.
He does.
Took home another trophy. It's been a while since his last win. So this was a pretty big one to win just in general.
Yeah.
Finally getting a win. But for it being Arnold Palmer's tournament is a pretty big
signature
deal.
Event.
Mm-hmm.
It has so much attached to it. So much history. The golf course, Bay Hill, is so tough.
It's
proving
so
that he is a top 10 player.
Right. And a winner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again. Yeah.
He seems like someone too that's so inconspicuous. You hear Russell Henley's name and you don't really realize that he's been up at the top.
Yeah, I was going to say we've talked about him and how we've seen him.
Yeah.
I don't know if we said it on the pod, but because again, this is all we talk about.
Yeah.
Slightly embarrassing, but we've definitely spoke about how we're going to see him at the top one of these times soon. Him and Justin Thomas, I see Justin moving up there. And another one, despite having a pretty tough Sunday, Andrew Novak is always at the top of the leaderboard. He is going to win soon. I just feel it.
So this is your call. You're calling Andrew Novak?
I don't know when, but if you think about it, this is arguably one of the hardest courses.
Yes.
Again, we have to get back to Russell because he's amazing.
Yeah.
But one of the hardest courses, a signature event. You're playing with the best of the best. And he had record-breaking round on Saturday.
Yeah.
Had a tough day Sunday, but he was up there. And I just feel like he really proved himself. You know, I just think he's going to win soon. He's been at the top of the leaderboard at regular events, but showing up here at Bay Hill and fighting with the best of them, I'm like, I could see it.
Okay. Well, pencil it in now, guys.
It's just I don't know when. It's just back when we said Russell Henley's going to win soon, no idea. But I know people don't listen to me for
no one's coming here for
this type of advice.
The hard stats.
No. And that's fine. At least we're self-aware.
You know who I also, again, getting back to Russell for sure.
Russell,
we'll get to you
coming back.
Super soon.
Yeah.
But I am calling Michael Kim.
Also true.
Yeah.
Yes.
He, I also saw a tweet or Instagram post, whatever it was, by Dan Rappaport, who like listed Michael Kim's accomplishments just this year alone. And my mouth was like, my jaw was on the floor.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like, oh my God. Again, didn't even realize he was lurking up there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you hear his name, and he's a fun one on Twitter too.
Yeah, he is.
So that's why I love Michael Kim.
Not just fun, but like super engaging.
Yes.
And like will answer a lot of fan questions and really break down the behind the scenes of like life on tour as a player.
And we love that.
Speaking of Twitter.
Oh.
Did you hear?
Oh my gosh.
Max Homa is retiring from his Twitter game. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I probably should have done like a deeper dive into the article because I read like 2 headlines. I was like, oh, big deal. But I guess, it's toxic.
Oh, well, shock.
Yeah. So
shocker there.
He's retiring.
Wait,
which
that
is
makes me sad.
I agree.
I feel like we're losing one of the Twitter greats.
I know.
Or ex-greats.
He hasn't tweeted in a while, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah. I guess we'll just have to see him on Instagram.
I guess if you're on there, you might as well also follow us at Birdie Little Secrets Pod.
Yeah, plug that.
And
YouTube. Hello.
YouTube.
Hi.
Hello.
We're doing this for you.
The amount of times I'm like also trying not to look like
I know at myself. Yeah, I'm just like staring into your eyes. I don't even look at you this much when we record normally.
This is actually also the closest we've sat for an episode too, and I just feel like.
But that's why we got these new mics.
Yeah,
because they work better, I think.
Leveled up, guys.
We've leveled up, again, for you.
You're welcome.
But okay, Russell Henley. We do really have to go back to him because we cannot graze over just how adorable his family is.
Oh.
Like the cutest kids I've ever seen.
Wait, also super shocked, me being super shocked, that he has 3 kids.
I know.
He looks really young.
He does.
I didn't expect it.
Yeah, that slid under the radar a little bit.
Yeah.
But they're super cute.
He has a son, Robert, and 2 daughters, Ruth and Jane.
Yes. And then his wife, Teil, who we've spoke about before, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
She, I guess her maiden name is now my name, Duncan. Teil Duncan.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But during the President's Cup, our like season opener of season 2 of Birdie Little Secrets, we talked about how a great artist she is. And because what did they do? They did the painting where you like paint your significant others as like a bonding event.
That's right.
And the one.
And it was hilarious.
Yeah. And everyone's was so terrible except for Russell Henley's painting of him. And because his wife is just an incredible artist.
Yeah.
So you have to check her out.
Which also like another example of Russell Henley being kind of flying under the radar. He was literally at the President's Cup.
Yeah.
That's what we mean. Like he's good enough. Obviously he just won, but he's been up there and is a top 10 player.
Yeah.
And now he's just out here like proving it to himself. He even said too, with regards to being one of the best in the world, like literally top 10 with how many golfers there are out there, guys. Like that's a huge deal. And he even said, he's like, I don't really feel like a top 10 player, so it's hard for me to kind of comprehend that.
Yeah.
So even for him, he's like, I don't see myself that way. I just come out here, play my hardest, and do it for the family.
Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does it all for his family. And
yeah.
he even, to quote him again, because everyone, like the fans, are freaking out about him saying this, especially because it was International Women's Day on Thursday? This past Thursday. But he credits like so much to his wife and having her as a support system. He said, she puts steel in my spine. And like, that's so profound.
That is very profound.
Yeah. And just to reference her as like steel and strong and
very telling,
the backbone to him and his success and their family,
which is what we talk about all the time, not just them specifically, but we love our wags.
We eat that up.
Yes.
Like, she is just so incredible, and everyone loved that he like credits her, and it just proves like he's such a great man, like on and off the course. So.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I'm actually kind of like laughing because I did bring up how he was at the President's Cup, and then you pointed it out even further, and now I'm thinking like, yeah, no crap, he was probably going to win. And he was good. Like, I'm sitting here like, yeah, I called that he was probably going to win soon. Like, yeah.
He was at the President's Cup.
He was at the President's Cup. Like, I just like, you know what? It's fine.
I'm giving it to you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
though?
I just like, I give that to you.
Yeah. So.
You totally called that.
But what was kind of funny was like when I was looking at the kids and like how just adorable they were and like their outfits, like how stressful it must be to like not only figure out what you're going to wear, but then like what your kids are going to wear if their father wins.
Yeah.
Like a little too much stress.
Because we can't have them running out there and like their little bluey graphic tee.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty crazy. But okay, moving on. Russell Henley wasn't the only crazy headline at Arnold Palmer. Xander Schauffele.
Oh, yeah. The other end of the spectrum.
The other end of the spectrum.
Which we don't say those two words together very often. Xander Schauffele and dead last. That's harsh.
Well, he had just like barely made the cut.
Right.
Was on the cut line. But what's crazy is that he had 57 straight cuts made. So he was looking for a 58th. And so it was like, is this going to happen?
Wow.
And then, you know, he obviously did. Still didn't really play his best, but made the cut, which is notable. And then it was like, you know, not performing well enough to the point where he was like the last one out as a single, or sorry, first one out on the course as a single, no playing partner. Like, when's the last time you see such a profound player playing alone on a Sunday?
Like, when I wonder too, if you asked him, like, when is the last time you've played in a tournament like by yourself?
If ever.
By yourself. Yeah, right. If ever. Because he's notably at the top like so often that it was jarring to see. But overall, his tournament, he said, was such a success for him.
Yeah.
Because he's coming off a pretty serious rib injury.
Yes. Yep.
So
a lot of injuries going on.
What?
A lot of injuries going on.
Not me. Like, what?
Breaking news.
Yeah, guys. Sorry. So Xander Schauffele, yes. So like Kass was saying, he was barely made the cut. I'm trying to get
I'm laughing because you're saying like Kass was saying, like, we're speaking to the audience.
I know, but I have to remember our listeners.
Guys, we're getting the hang of this.
I know.
Okay?
Everyone has to really bear with us.
Yeah. And like, again, we did pick the Players Championship week to do this on as if we have all the time in the world. So again, just keep that in mind. A little bit of grace.
It's our MO though. We started
thrive.
Birdie Little Secrets, guys.
We did.
A year ago.
A year ago at the Players.
I know. Sorry, I'm trying to talk about like Xander.
Okay, going back to Xander not performing well.
Okay, let's finish that and then we'll get in our emotions about Birdie Little Secrets. So this was his first start back from a rib injury that kept him sidelined basically since the century. And so like basically Schauffele said the only marker for success at this tournament was how his own body held up. Right. And he overall like thrived.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's the little wins. Again, like obviously making the cut for him, that streak is amazing. But like not necessarily 57 made cuts. He's not really stressed about that typically. No. So it's a little win for him. And that's probably the boost that he needed, especially going into a week like this week, the Players Championship. So, yeah, excited to see what he does. I mean, I'm just overall very excited for this week.
Yes.
But let's talk about you being at Arnold Palmer first.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like that. You were the star of the show.
I was actually able to get the weekend off. I wasn't able to get it. Used my PTO as we discussed last week.
What?
Maybe something's wrong in my brain to work in golf, have a podcast about golf, and then in my free time
go golf.
Go
see golf.
Go see golf.
You also play golf sometimes.
And I play golf. Yeah. So a lot of golf happening.
Looked slay.
Thank you.
Literally.
I also kid you not, like the amount of times I texted Kass like, this is my outfit, like, or I can't wait to show you my outfit. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I don't wear athletic dresses very often. Actually, really ever. These were my first 2 athletic dress purchases. And I was very excited. I wore like Arnold Palmer yellow, like bright yellow.
So cute.
Got it at Target. If you saw on our Instagram, I posted. Also was very nervous about doing that.
You killed it.
This influencer, or not influencer, I wouldn't call us like influencers. I mean, maybe. Are we?
I think you just did.
Okay.
I think you want people to call you one.
I kind of want to be an influencer.
Okay, so just own it.
So I was trying to own it. I was trying to do it and trying to do my best. So I posted there. But it was so fun. And actually, speaking of Xander, like I arrived and I was like, who is that? Like walking alone by himself. And I was like, no way that this is Xander Schauffele right now. So I was shook.
He teed off on Sunday and just zoomed right through.
Yeah, I know. I think by the
rightfully
time
so.
He was already on like the 6th hole, and we got there relatively early.
Yeah.
But it was such a fun tournament to be at. Yeah. The colors are amazing. You know, obviously Arnold Palmer's are iconic.
John Daly's.
And John Daly's.
We spoke about that last week.
I might have had a few. And it was super good. But one story that I've been dying to tell you that was mortifying for me, but I think everyone else would find like pretty hilarious, especially everyone that witnessed it.
Oh God.
Found pretty hilarious. So I, again, was trying to be my little influencer self.
Oh no.
And was walking.
I'm scared.
Was walking back to meet up with my family because I brought my whole family with me. And you know, at a golf course, the golfers have to walk from tee to tee. So they rope off, the volunteers rope off the walkway. So the fans don't interact with the golfer, keep them in the head zone, you know.
So no influencers get in the way.
So no influence, exactly.
I feel like I know where this is going.
So I have my head down. I do have my head in my phone because I was just about to post something. I mean, it was a cute picture, so I was focused on it.
Worth it. I
don't notice that I'm like standing in the walkway because again, Sydney. When it's not roped off, it's a normal path.
Yeah, you can just
you don't really tell. Yeah. The volunteer in front of me, I look up, I see the rope like right in front of me. I'm like, oh shoot, okay,
he's roping it off.
I'm like I'm realizing what's happening. So I go to turn around.
The other one's getting roped off.
The other one is like actively finishing being roped off. Ludwig Oberg.
Oh my God. Out of all the people.
Out of all of the people. Is standing like I could like grab his shoulder and be like, good job. You know, I look up and it's like Ludwig and his playing partner, which I think was Adam Hadwin. And I'm spinning in circles at this point because I'm just like, I don't know where to go.
Oh,
I'm in a bright yellow dress. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Ludwig is like actively laughing.
No way.
Yes. Because I kid you not, when I say like spinning in circles, like I'm going back, I'm like ping-ponging between the two.
You have got to tell Olivia this story.
I know. I needed to tell her right away. The whole time I was just thinking like if she was there watching, like how funny it would be to be like look up and be like, wait, is that not Sydney?
Hi, nice to meet you in person. I am Sydney.
Hi, sorry, I kind of like interrupted your boyfriend's golf game for a second there. Yeah, so none of the volunteers were moving to like move the rope.
I'm surprised like no one was freaking out.
No, it was a solid 30 seconds and that doesn't sound like a long time.
So where was everybody else? You like went off on your own to like record?
Yeah.
Did you have a selfie stick?
No.
Oh, good. Okay,
I know.
Good.
That's good. The next step up, I think.
No, I think we should just take a while.
Should we
crawl before we walk? You know
right.
What I mean?
How about I don't get stuck between the walkways again? But it was just so funny because I'm literally looking at him. I'm like, Ludwig, I'm so sorry. And then I like good. Duck because also the volunteers were like not lifting the rope for me.
Yeah. This is not good.
So
You're supposed to be better than this.
I duck and my face also at this point is bright red. I mean, I just looked like an insane person.
Aww.
I looked like someone who isn't around golf 24/7.
Like it's your first time, yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
So Ludwig, I am so sorry.
Yeah, this is a good story to share with Liv for sure.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So that was my experience at the Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Well, we also got you on the commercial break, which we posted on our story. But every single stream, every show posted it at PGA Tour. They were like, "Did you see Sydney? Did you see Sydney?" Like, if you guys know that she was there and was on TV, do you think I have not learned this at this point? Like, come on.
Yes.
Come on. Obviously, I saw Sydney. Obviously, we put her on air instantaneously.
It's also like they don't assume I was texting you like
the entire time.
Every step that I took.
While I was driving in for my 6 a.m. crew call, you were texting me like what you were wearing. So, yes, guys, I knew Sydney was there. And we got you on air because you're a star. You're an influencer.
I felt famous. And it was really funny, too, because I brought my family. I, like, treated them to tickets and the whole works. And they were, like, I showed them all the videos because everyone at work was, like, blowing up my phone, being like, we have you on camera.
So many group chats. Yeah.
Like, they also don't think I know where the cameras are.
Oh, exactly. Obviously, it was going to be an Arnie statue.
Obviously.
It's insane how many people take a picture in front of that, by the way.
Oh,
I was like, we need like a counter because it was crazy.
There was a line. I had to wait in line.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know.
But really happy to hear about your hiccup. I'm only going to share one story about producing Arnold Palmer.
Right. Mislead over here, which with the transition is great. I can't wait to hear this story.
Because I had a few hiccups on my show, guys. And when I say hiccups, I mean literally, not figuratively. My announcer, Doug Smith, love you. I'm so glad you also made fun of yourself for this. He hiccuped for 35 minutes.
It has to be a record. It has to be a record.
Like, honestly, it might have been longer. Like, it took 20 minutes for me to be like, I think, like, this is a problem. Should I get him out? But it's, like, one of those things where it's, like, especially when you have the hiccups, you're like, oh, they're gone. They're gone. Oh, no, they're not. And then, like, we have this button. It's like a talk button called talkback. So, like, if he was trying to talk to me but, like, not go out to air, he can push it and it, like, kind of mutes him. So, but again, you don't know when a hiccup is coming, right? Like, so his hand is there, but it's like like over and over again. And I'm like, is this going to end? And I, like, message my boss and I'm like, so Doug has, like, a pretty bad case of the hiccups, like emergency hiccups over here. What do I do? So after, like, you know, they tune in, they're listening, and it's like 25 minutes. I'm like, this has been going on for, like, quite some time. So we had to, like, call relief talent, like, get them in there and, like, rescue him. And I'm like, can somebody get him water? Like, what is going on? And I really did feel so bad for him. He's like, this is so embarrassing. And I'm like, well, he was owning it. You know, he was joking about it. He posted on his Instagram, too.
He's, like, the best person to get the hiccups. Like, he can play it off. And also, it's not something, like, you're purposely doing.
No.
Everyone gets them. Like, it's fine.
I mean, I haven't had them in a long time. Right. I'm like, when they're like, what do you do when you have the hiccups? I'm like, I don't.
Scarred.
Literally
now for the hiccups. You're like,
yeah, so a lot of things happened this week, but I would say that was the highlight of my show.
It's also not like, because you're on air, it's not like someone can come up and, like, scare him. Yeah. Or, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without jarring the rest of the audience.
Exactly. So, yeah, that was tough.
I will say it was hilarious because I'm in the work group chat as well. Yeah. And I don't check Teams when I'm on my days off, but I did see it popping off. Yeah. And for it to be a hiccup emergency, I am glad I looked that one
No, because, like, everyone was laughing in the chat, but I was like, so, like, this is like, low-key, like, a serious question. Like, what do I do?
Right.
Like, do I get him out of there, or do we just let him rock? And, we got him out of there. Emergency hiccup
and we
situation.
got him some water.
Yeah. But, yeah, overall, wrapping up API, it was quite the week, both on the course and
in studio.
Off the course in studio. So congrats to Russell Henley.
Well, we also have a very special guest coming up who can also give us the tea about on the course and in studio.
Okay, little birdies, we are so excited to announce our very special guest up next. She's someone that definitely knows a thing or two about golf, both on the course and in the studio. Let's welcome Emilia Doran to Birdie Little Secrets.
Thank you, y'all. So excited to be on Birdie Little Secrets. Very exciting.
Well, we're excited to have you on. Like Kass said, in the studio, we are so lucky we get to both work with you. And obviously, we'll get into it and all the tea behind the scenes. Yes. But first off, and this is such a loaded question because golf really is like your life. But how did you get started in the sport? Like, where did this love for golf start?
Yeah, so I feel like I had a really unique introduction to the game because my mom played in college. So she was actually recruited from Sweden. She's the only member of her family that's outside of Sweden. Wow. And so she was recruited there. She actually played with Annika Sorenstam for a year.
That's
which is really, really cool.
Okay.
So
cool.
yeah, so I feel like I definitely was so blessed to have a mom that was a really good player. And I was a big sports kid growing up. I loved soccer. I did rock climbing, gymnastics until I got too tall. I did a bit of everything. And I definitely wanted to play a sport in college. Honestly, as a kid, I wanted to play a sport professionally. Of course, I'm sure a lot of kids say that. But it was really nice to have my mom, who played at Arizona. She was an All-American there. To be able to have someone to help guide me. I was definitely a kid that was all over the place. I wanted to, fit in with my friends. Golf was not that cool growing up. So I was actually embarrassed to wear golf clothes in public. Like would, after practice, I would not want to be seen in golf clothes. Like there was definitely like a big kind of insecurity there. Now I wear golf clothes all the time.
You live in them now, don't you?
I live in them, and I love them, and it's really cool because they've sort of turned into like like fashion, almost like athletic wear.
Absolutely.
So it's kind of interesting, the just progression of how golf has become super popular, not just for the golf geeks.
Absolutely. And also, let's say the early 2000s, like 2010 golf fashion wasn't popping off as much as it is now.
Definitely not.
That is for sure.
Especially for women. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, it was not. No, it was so bad. Not good at all. I look back at when I was younger, all the clothes that I was wearing. I was like, wow, none of that fit me. And we didn't have social media, so my fashion was just so bad, wearing like these neon pink and who knows.
I guess it's a good thing there was no social media then.
I know it was. But yeah, so my mom introduced me to the game, and when I was 12, I stopped playing soccer, played competitive soccer, and there was sort of a decision. I actually didn't make my middle school soccer team, which I was really sad about, and I'm still salty because I think the only reason why I didn't get, because I was a goalie, so there was like 5 people trying out, and the only reason why I think I didn't get it was because the senior can't not have the senior on the team. Anyway, I was formality. Or I just wasn't that good, who knows. But I remember being really sad about it, and my mom, she kind of told me, she said, look, if you play golf, no matter what score you shoot, like that is going to be the indicator of how good you are. You don't have to rely on anyone to be good. You just have to rely on yourself. And I think that was a big motivator for me. So I was recruited really early, committed to Wake Forest University my freshman year of high school before the recruiting rules changed.
Crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy to think about. I'm obviously a way different person than I was my freshman year of high school, but I had such a great experience at Wake Forest, and even there was a coaching change after my freshman year, but I had a wonderful coach my freshman year and still close with my coaches now. So definitely had a early recruiting process, and I guess long story short to this, I wanted to pursue professional golf career until senior year of college. And then I kind of realized that as much as I love training, competing, I really did love playing for a college team, especially my sophomore year. We got really good, and that was so fun. Just having the goal of we're trying to win a national championship. That was just like a really awesome environment to be in. And I really loved that stuff. I really loved the team environment. I found myself, I enjoy the college AMs and things like that, where I get to interact with the sponsors. And so I kind of realized that, and I had played in 3 U.S. Opens. At the time, it was the ANA and 2 Epson Tour events. So I'd played professional golf or in some professional tournaments, and was just like, I don't know about this. This just feels like if I were going to pursue this for the next 10 years, I don't know if it would fulfill me. And that's kind of how the introduction to broadcasting got started. Golf Channel had seen me through them covering me in NCAA's and Augusta National Women's Amateur.
That's so cool.
And so, I felt like I knew I was in the right place, where I started out my senior year, summer after my senior year of college. I wrote for the U.S. Women's Open at Olympic Club for the golfchannel.com website. And I walked into the media center, and I knew every single person there. And they were all like so excited to see me, and I was just like, this is where I need to be. This is so wonderful. That's kind of a long answer to the progression of my career and where I am now.
Well, we love it. But, I mean, we can't skip over how amazing you were in college. And we had to write down some of your stats because we had a feeling that you were just going to be, like, way too humble to share with our listeners. And we got this directly from your LinkedIn. So please tell me if we're wrong. She's 4-time All-American. She's 5 collegiate wins, 5-time participant of Augusta National Women's and including runner-up in 2021, Pan American Games gold medalist, and 2 times Curtis Cup member. Like, you kind of grazed over that.
Wow. Like, what?
She's just sitting there taking it all in. But seriously, like, all of that being said, you making the decision to not pursue professional golf must have been a very, very difficult decision to make, especially now hearing about your mom and her history with golf. But how, you know, everything leading up to that, was there any pushback when you told everyone around you, your coaches, your peers, your family, that maybe that you weren't going to pursue it professionally?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think that was definitely something I was a bit nervous about. Mm-hmm. And I really just got overwhelming support. I'm definitely a more sensitive player and just a more emotional person. So my senior year of college, I definitely had not developed emotionally like I should have maybe on the golf course, just because I had reached so much success at a young age and never really had a low. I didn't know what that was like. And so I think the people closest to me saw that I was really, really good at golf, but they also saw that I had these other skills. And at the end of the day, it was really neat to be around just family and friends that just wanted me to pursue a career that I was passionate about. It's funny too, because there were moments in my golfing journey where my mom, she'd be like, you know, you don't have to play professional golf. You can do whatever you want. And I would get like all like mad about, are you saying I'm not good enough to play professional golf?
Reverse psychology.
Yeah, exactly. No, I had such a strong identity to the outcomes of golf that regardless of if I came back around and decided to pursue professional golf, I needed to take that step back. And it was really neat because when I took that step back in 2021 and I had the opportunity to watch a lot of golf, report on golf, write on it, work in broadcasting for it, I got to realize, okay, I don't want to pursue professional golf. I do want to remain an amateur and remain competitive. And I love this side where I can just tap into, you know, what it's to show the viewer what it's like to be out there in contention, trying to win. I'm a really self-aware person. So I feel like that helps in broadcasting to be able to explain to someone, to a viewer, what it is like in those moments. And so, yeah, that was kind of the trajectory. But I get the question a lot why I didn't turn pro. And it's kind of funny because sometimes you meet someone for the first time and then they ask the question like it's a short answer. And so I got to like figure out like, oh, well, I just want to do something else. Like, it was like, it's a much longer answer, but how to shorten it. So it's been great. There are definitely times where I miss it and I miss competing on a regular basis and miss training. But I know I made the right decision in the end.
Yeah. And I think that's what's important, that 100%. You are confident in like your own decision to lead the life that you want to live. Because, you know, at the end of the day, this is your life, and you're the one who gets to decide like what you want to do with it, which also like you kind of touched on. So you didn't want to try out the professional thing first and then get into broadcasting. Instead, you kind of like play and broadcast at the same time. Like what was that scenario? Because we heard about this, and it was like the first time you were playing in your 3rd US Open. Is that kind of right? And then you were also broadcasting right after you were done playing, or before you were playing. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, no, it was so much fun to do. And the first time I did that actually was in 2021. I worked the women's AM. It was after I worked the girls junior. That was my first broadcasting event. Like, oh, do you want to do the AM? I was like, yeah, but I'm also playing, and I'm playing in the AM, or I'm signed up to play. And so they were like, okay, well, we'll just figure it out and kind of see how it goes. So it was really fun. My husband was caddying for me, my boyfriend at the time. And I made it to the round of 32. And then it was actually so funny because made it to the round of 32, lost to Brooke Say, who maybe, I think she's graduated from Stanford, not sure. And then my producer, Brant Packer at the time, he goes, okay, so do you want to follow Brooke Say in the round of 16? I'm like, you're kidding me, right?
That's horrible.
And he's like, what? Because he always was known for messing with me, but apparently he genuinely didn't know that she had beat me on the 17th hole or whatever she beat me on.
Wow.
That's crazy.
But it was, of course, Brooke and I are really good friends. So it was fun to go out and cover her and,
so you actually did end up.
I know I did. Oh yeah. I did.
Gotta get the job done.
Yeah, I love that. They're already throwing you in. Like,
yeah. They're like, you can handle it. You gotta take it.
It was a test.
So yeah, and then I did the same thing, similar at the U.S. Women's Open, and it was at Pebble, which was really cool. And qualifying into that, I'd finished up my second year of grad school, my fifth year competing. So I kind of took a year off in grad school, was a TA, kind of was still hanging out with the team and stuff, but didn't play on the golf team. I guess you could call it a red shirt. And then I used my last year of eligibility from COVID to play my fifth year of school. So it's kind of a complicated story. But anyway, when I finished that, I'd come off some playing, and then I can't remember exactly what I shot in qualifying. U.S. Women's Open qualifying is 36 holes one day, and there's 2 spots usually in the ones that I've played.
Wow.
And I shot I think I shot 12 under or something like that. It was ridiculous amount. I was just playing out of my mind. It was so much fun. I was had no expectations going in. I was like, well, looks like I'm calling up my boss and telling him, hey, I am gonna play in the U.S. Women's Open now. Can I also work? And it's been so nice because everyone at NBC, where I have done both, they've been so supportive, because I definitely was a little bit nervous. I didn't want to come across as, is she not reliable, because we don't know if she's playing or working or whatever. And they're really, really supportive of it. And it was really fun because I can't remember everyone that was in the group with Lexi Thompson, but it was Lexi Thompson's group, and I walked 9 holes in the beginning, and then played after. Missed the cut by 1. It's okay. We won't dwell on that part.
Yeah.
But it's really good for me. I really just treat it as a test of, okay, now, you're really disappointed. You're really competitive. Obviously I don't want to, play poorly. I still have the same expectations, standards to myself, but I've chosen a different path. Now I just have to get up the next day and work. And that is was definitely pretty hard, those couple times that I've done that. But ultimately it's been great because I obviously know the course so well. It got to chat with a lot of players beforehand. So it's been fun, and I hope I get to continue doing it.
Well, you're so good at it, and also kind of going back to them supporting you, work supporting you, doing both, it just adds so much credibility. You would literally play these courses, you play with these people, you have so much knowledge that you can offer to the viewers, and I just feel like they would be so silly to not be supportive of what you're doing. It's so unique and it's so cool, and that's why people watch. That's why there are on-course walkers out there, because they want the knowledge that you bring. So it's the fact that you just played, you literally just played. So now you can tell everybody all about it. I
hit this putt this morning and I missed it. It's not as much break.
I can prove this.
Yeah.
But wait, let's talk more about your husband. You're recently married, but wasn't the U.S. Open your almost honeymoon situation?
Yes, it was.
Read there. Okay.
Yeah, and there's actually some tea there. It's so funny, just classic me. So basically the week before the Women's Open at Pep. So to backtrack. So in May at Wake, we win the national championship. The finals was exactly a month before our wedding. So it was so funny because
so cool. That is so
That's
You're
so
like,
stressful.
You know, Wake just won champions, and then get to get married, and then play in the U.S. Like, oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh, no. But it was so funny because apparently my husband, Charlie, he got a text because apparently you could hear my voice on air, like when they were panning off a shot saying, oh, it's 30 days away. And I like just, and he's like, oh gosh. He's like, Amelia, I heard on air you were talking about our wedding. And I was like, whoops.
That's so funny.
Anyway, so before, like earlier in the spring, big family friend, big Wake supporter, Ben Sutton, he was asking me, hey, there's this Friends of Pebble Beach charity event. Would love for you to be a part of it and get to participate. Like it's the week before the Women's Open. Check my Google Calendar. I was like, done. Like I'm there. Can't wait. And then I tell Charlie about it, and he's like, oh, like when? So when would you leave for that? And I was like, oh yeah, let me look. I didn't. Gosh. I would have left, we left 2 days after our wedding. Oh wow! And so I was like, okay, let me call Miss Strutton up again. So I was like, hey, any chance I could get a +1 to this Friends of Pebble Beach tournament? My husband and I actually were just getting married a couple days before. I promise you'll love him. Wake baseball manager, big sports guy, because Ben's huge in the sports industry. It's like, you'll love him. And Ben was like, sure, bring him on down. And so that was essentially our honeymoon.
Wow. That is so crazy.
It was so wonderful. And yeah, it was just like such a great week. We felt like celebrities because we were the newlyweds. So every time we kind of came,
oh my gosh,
like, oh, the newlyweds, and then I got to play Pebble beforehand, before the Women's Open and Spyglass, and it was just such a great experience. So that was kind of
it's like not your wedding just being like scheduled in your calendar, and you're like,
I
think this weekend's free. Like,
I know. I was like, oh gosh, I don't have wedding. I was like,
okay, so clearly you weren't that stressed about the wedding planning process.
No, I wasn't.
You're a superwoman. This is crazy.
I don't know. My mom doesn't get so, like really stressed about a lot, so I think it was fine. It's funny with a wedding. You do a lot in the beginning, and then you kind of don't do anything until the week. You can't really do anything until the week of. So the week of was kind of stressful, just getting okay, we want name assigned seating, all this stuff. But yeah, it was good. All I wanted was a good DJ, good food, and dance all night, and I did that.
That's all you need.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. Then you get to leave for Pebble the next day.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
So you said your husband, he's into sports, like a big athletics guy. Is at Wake. Is that how you guys met, through athletics?
Yeah.
Or through golf?
Yeah.
Or is he a big golfer?
Yeah, he's a recreational golfer, but big golfer. We met in a writing class, second semester freshman year, actually.
Oh my God.
So
it's like a love
I definitely
story.
I know, oh, that's sweet. But I definitely got lucky. Just it was funny. So Wake is small, 5,000 undergrad. So this writing class about 25 people, and it was kind of, the tables were like here and here, and so Charlie was sitting here like on the side, and I was like directly in front. And then, like, eventually, like, he popped on over, like, next to me. And so I was like, okay, they're probably dating now.
Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah, no, he, like, grew up in Princeton, New Jersey area, huge New York Giants, New York Mets fan. He's the oldest of 5, and it's 4 boys and a girl.
Wow. That's me. That's my family, yeah.
No
Except for I'm the youngest. I have 4 older brothers.
Gosh. 4 older brothers.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Wait.
I'm just kidding. I love all my brothers so much.
Oh my God. You and my sister-in-law will bond then.
Yeah. I love trauma bonding.
I know, trauma bonding. But yeah, so, and he's really close to his family. I am too. So it was I have a smaller family, just one younger sister. So marrying into a big family. Oh my God. Look at that.
That's so funny.
So yeah, no, marrying into a big family, really, really close with them. So it's been great. But yeah,
that's lovely.
One of his favorite things to do is watch me compete. It's like really special. I mean, he could live the shot more than me, honestly. Like, I mean, he is so in it when he's spectating.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And it's so fun. He's kited for me a couple times too. And I honestly might even like him as a caddy better than a spectator because he's a little more like kind of steady Eddie, and spectating he's like football, and I'm like, okay, let's clap for everyone else, right?
That's so funny. That's crazy. Wait, okay, so on air like a couple weeks ago, for our listeners, Emilia was my amazing talent for my second time producing. So thanks for that. You did amazing.
Of course.
But you shared such a fun story about one of your holes in one, which is also crazy to say. And you like couldn't even remember which course, which is also like goals. Like I hope I have enough aces in my life that I can be like, I don't remember where this one was. But it was so cool because you and your husband he almost did. But I'll let you tell the story because I thought it was so cool.
Yeah, no, so it was so funny. So I remember the course now because I was asking him about it. In Hilton Head, where I am now, Port Royal. I can't remember. I think it was on the back nine. And so yeah, we were playing a match with two of his brothers, and we get to this par 3. Charlie goes first, hits a beautiful shot. It's about 143, so I think he hits a 9-iron. Beautiful shot right at the flag, doesn't move. That's the thing about Charlie. He's a 10 handicap. But his good shots are like incredible. It's just the misses that can get off.
Yeah.
Right over the flag, lands a foot past the hole, rolls right by it, and lips out for a near hole in one. He had never made a hole in one. We're like freaking out. And we were playing a match. He was not my partner, so we were playing against each other at the time. Of course, I was still freaking out that he almost made a hole in one. So then I get up the tee, 143, I'm like, okay, I'm going to choke down an 8, little into the wind. I start a little right, it's drawing. I'm like, ooh, this looks pretty good. Meanwhile, over the ball, I was still thinking about Charlie's near hole in one.
Of course.
I was like, wow, I can't believe he almost had a hole in one. So my ball's drawing, and then I dunk it on top of him.
Oh
my God.
Way.
Yeah.
Wait,
it was crazy.
Way.
That is crazy.
None of us knew how to react. We all left our bags in the tee box and ran to the hole like stupid people. I don't know why we did that. And yeah, sure enough, my ball had slam dunk like Emiliana Grillo at Phoenix Open on 16. And Charlie's, you could see the pitch mark a foot from the hole, and he was a foot from the cup. And so we like took a picture. And like took a picture by the hole, but match wise, we tied the hole because he had a stroke. So we.
Oh, there you go.
So, wow.
So like, how was the dinner table that night? Was there a little bit of salt being thrown?
Yeah, no, it was. I can't even remember how the matches ended up, but it was definitely it was kind of a fun thing to say, like, I had to make a hole in one to tie you, like,
that's so cool.
So
I love how you started that story too. You were like, and then I got to the tee. I was like, I love where this is going. I was like, I can already tell. That's so funny. That's incredible.
Yeah, like dynamic duo, you two. That's so fun. That's good that he's good at golf too.
Yeah, no, it's so great, and and I know, and it's great. I definitely like. And we don't really compete against each other unless we're playing with like siblings. Like we just like want each other to play great. Right. And he's actually incredible at taking my tips. Like I really try to just like not overdo it. I don't want to, but I'll be like, I think you're just staying a little close to the ball. Just swing 80%. Next one stripes it. I'm like, yes. Like his friends though, like with his friends, they're like shanking it or topping it, and I like try to say something, and then they hit it worse, and I'm like, oh gosh, well, maybe I just suck at teaching. I don't know.
No, man. They're probably just stubborn boys.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's user error.
Exactly.
No, but it's so great too because now like he's so into golf, like watching golf, and he was like, "Oh, babe, we gotta finish watching The Cognizant." Like when we came back from
good.
So it's been really fun that he's just as into it as I am.
Yeah.
So it makes it really fun.
Oh, love that. Well, speaking of The Cognizant and like other tournaments and tournaments coming up.
Yes.
Can we talk about you broadcasting and like actually being on air talent and working for PGA Tour Live? Like I'm like talking to two boss babes right now, like producer Kass and
Sydney, you
on
too.
air talent. No, it's so fun. Like, do you?
Oh my gosh.
Do you have any fun stories or just like kind of walk us through your broadcasting like life?
Yeah. I will say being a part of PGA Tour Live has been such a game changer for me. I remember my first conversation with Greg, and people at NBC had known me because they'd cover me, but Greg didn't really know me. Yeah. And so he was kind of like, so, like, basically kind of like, tell me why, like, you should be covering PGA Tour golf. And it was actually really fun for me because I'd never had the chance to do that. And yeah, and so he gave me some opportunities. I love that PGA Tour Live, you like shadow analysts and play-by-play first, and they kind of show you around. They don't just like immediately throw you in.
I remember when you shadowed. Yeah, and I was like in stream 4, and like you came in and looked. You were probably like, "What is this little tiny truck that everyone's sitting in?"
Oh my gosh, I know. And they're like, "Oh, you can just like hop in whenever." And I'm like, "Hop in? I don't even know like this golf course."
yeah.
I'm like, what am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
But no, it's been a wonderful journey, and being a part of PGA Tour Live was the first time I was in an analyst position, which is a lot more work. There's a lot more prep. And on PGA Tour players, there is an endless amount of information on them. So I've really had to learn just what information I need as an analyst. That's different from a host. If you have a good host, they're going to tell you all the what, and then you give the why to that. And so it's been great. I mean, it's definitely, really long hours, especially the players. It's like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. But I mean, we all obviously like low key love the grind.
Of course.
So it's been great. But yeah, everyone I've worked with has been amazing. It's been so fun just to get to work with players that have won on the PGA Tour and learn from them, and also learn the men's game. For the most part, it's obviously the same, but just with how much more speed the men put on the ball, they shape it a little bit different, more than women. And then college golf too, just like, there's definitely a step up from the professional game, kind of what, how they're going through shots and having a caddy there, and also living the tour life, going weeks on weeks on the road, playing for money. There's all those things that are different. So it was a great adjustment, I would say. Definitely the biggest thing was just like working those long hours and learning how to say the same thing in different ways, and knowing no one's watching the entire broadcast that you're doing. So
when you're following one group, all
exactly.
You gotta get creative.
So it's okay if you say for the 5th time, momentum. That was a key putt for momentum, So but it's been wonderful.
It's very interesting. I didn't even think about you like having to kind of adjust to men's golf, and was there like pressure there, or was that like something you were like nervous about, because you have to like show up, talk to Greg, he's like, what do you bring to the table, and you're like, I don't know. No, definitely. I would say in the beginning, people are like, oh, the men's game is so different, learning the men's game and all that. And it was a little bit like, okay, guys, it's golf. They hit the same amount of good shots, same amount of bad shots. And that's true. And then it was more just learning, like big thing for me is just like carry yardages, like so different. And so, but that obviously I knew that going in, but just knowing like how guys play the course, I still remember when I played in the Arnold Palmer Cup at Bay Hill in 2020, 10th hole, dogleg right, I'm seeing going at the bunkers, 3-wood, and we're playing practice round with the guys, and they hit it like straight over the trees on the right. And I was like, ooh, that was a bad shot. and then their buddy's like, oh, good shot, man. And I'm like, good shot? Like, what kind of line are they taking?
What the hell?
And so it's like different adjustments like that, like learning just like the lines that guys take. Also, they can hit it over trees. Like, I mean, I still remember Corn Ferry Tour, Kyle Westmoreland. It was maybe like it was Ohio State's course. They were playing a tournament, and he had 100 yards. He was literally directly behind a tree, and he's trying to go over it. And I'm like, he cannot hit over this tree.
You're like, what are you
sure
doing?
Enough. Yeah,
That's
I'm
crazy.
like, what? I'm like, why is he trying to hit over this tree? Sure enough, he freaking hits over the tree. And to give myself credit, the guys in the booth were also surprised that he could get it over the tree and onto the green. So it wasn't like totally me.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely, it feels more pressure sometimes. But I just have to remind myself that, I may not have played professional golf.
Yeah.
And so there are certain things that I steer away from. Like, I'm not going to go out and say, oh, playing, 10 weeks in a row, like, I know how tough that is. Like, I don't. I mean, I have a pretty good idea of how difficult it is. And I can talk about those challenges that other players have talked about.
Yeah.
But I do know what it's like to try and win a golf tournament and feel that pressure. And so that stuff is the same. Yeah, exactly. Like how you pull out when you don't.
Yeah.
Managing like the mental side of it. It's amazing watching golf and seeing a player make bogeys and mess up because of a bad hole. And as a player, you think that you're holding yourself together, but if you watch yourself or you watch other people, you're like, wow, like I can just totally see how they're just letting this get to them, even though you know that they're not. So definitely an adjustment. Definitely times where I feel a little bit more pressure, but I just have to remind myself that I am an expert. I do know what I'm talking about, and if I mess up, it's okay. You just keep learning and try again. So not kind of taking the failures or mistakes too 100%. Hard either.
Yeah. Well, see, even speaking on that, then, like, does imposter syndrome ever creep in? Because your resume at such a young age is astounding. I mean, it's truly incredible. Like, do you ever feel sometimes like, oh gosh, like, I'm here. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Yeah. I mean, I think if people didn't feel that way, it wouldn't be normal. It wouldn't, would mean they maybe didn't like, people that want to pursue something at a high level, and especially in broadcasting, as you all know, like it's definitely gotten imposter syndrome at times on like, okay, if I deserve to be here, or if I know what I'm talking about. I feel like starting in the industry, it's like, what to prep and am I saying the right thing? And you don't really have someone that's like giving you direct feedback all the time on how you get better. And that's why actually last year I got a talent coach, Jill Montgomery, and actually recommended from Lauren Withrow, who's one of the PGA Tour Live play-by-plays she works with her. And that's been amazing because she's not only helped me with my confidence of reminding me like why I'm at these tournaments and what my credentials are, but also how to get better, because you're pretty much learning as you go. And so to have someone tell me, it's amazing because she doesn't know golf, but she obviously knows how to like broadcast. She worked for ESPN. She was in track and field. And so she did all that for many, many years, but she'll like restate one of my questions that I should have said better, or like how I could have, condensed a story or said something like in fewer words. And I'm like, how do you freaking know how to say that and you don't even know golf? Like, that's crazy. Just amazing. So that's been really helpful. But it's a journey. I feel like you go through waves, and knowing that feeling is normal. But usually when I'm in it, I'm very present and I'm loving it. It's usually like managing those emotions like beforehand. It's kind of, so.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I mean, one of the reasons we've wanted to have you on now, we've been wanting to have you on for quite some time, but you are working the Players Championship on the broadcast team. That's amazing. You should not have imposter syndrome there. That's like going to be so much fun. And you were obviously picked to do that for a reason. So what are your thoughts going in? Do you have any picks who you think might win?
Yeah.
What is it looking like?
Oh my gosh. It's a great question. I was definitely thinking about this. I mean, can Scotty three-peat? I don't know. I definitely think he's going to be in contention. I don't know if he can pull out three wins in a row. But I think he'll definitely be in contention because he always is. I'm really curious how Xander Schauffele does at Bay Hill coming up, just coming off of a rib injury, and just how he does. So that would be, that's interesting. Russell Henley's been playing really well.
Yeah, he has been.
Ludwig Oberg has been playing great. I loved what y'all were saying about Ludwig does he do a foot pop or something?
Yes.
I was dying when you guys said that. I was like, no way, I'm gonna have to look for the foot pop.
Oh yeah, both wins, foot pop. That's how you know. He's just in love, and he loves winning.
I don't know. Sydney and I talk all the time. He's out there on Sawgrass practicing every week, so I think he's gonna be on the lookout for.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think so. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like what I just want to see is just like all those big time players at the top. Like it's so fun when you get to see like 100%. Scotty, Xander, Oberg, Rory. I would say if there's a person that like my heart, like who I would love to win would be Sahith Theegala. I think that would just be like the coolest win.
Yep.
Just because he's so likable. He has such a great imagination on the golf course. You need to have a lot of accuracy at TPC Sawgrass, so that's kind of his one crux. Like, you don't necessarily need to bomb it, but you have to be really, really accurate. That's why Matt Fitzpatrick plays really well there. So we'll see. So I guess, like, if I have a pick to win, it would be Oberg. But my heart win would be Sahith.
Okay, I like it.
Okay,
I like that.
I like it too. Yeah, I'm curious to see, especially with so many like first time winners on tour, like who, if someone surprising would come out of nowhere and just take it home. Because I feel like that's been such a trend over the past year.
I also love the players' content of when it's like their first players championship, and like they write it all out on the signs, and it's like their goals and stuff like that. I think it's so cute to see the new guys come out. So and I'm sure really that's a dream come true for them. So
100%. Like it was so cool to see Brian Campbell win in the Mexico Open. I mean, and oh my gosh, his girlfriend Kelsey, such a queen. Just being there. And like there's nothing more just emotionally gratifying than like seeing a first time winner, especially at the players. So that would definitely be really cool, since like you guys said, there's been so many already.
Crazy. We can't wait to see what happens.
I know, it's so fun.
So before we let you go, because this conversation, first off, we love talking golf like this, like with women who, and I just okay, before I actually ask the question, I just love the fact that like more women are like here listening to like other women talk about this sport, because it's just and listening to you talk about this sport out there on the course. Like I just love how involved everyone's getting. It's just it's so encouraging, and I just you out there, I can't wait to listen for players. I'm so excited. But so, the actual question. We love asking our guests if you have any Birdie Little Secrets, if you have any like fun course memories, or from your college days, or just a funny, just anything you can give.
Superstition.
Yeah.
Anything.
But,
I love that.
For our name, if you have any Birdie Little Secrets to share.
A Birdie Little Secret. That's super cute. I was definitely thinking about it. I would say my Birdie Little Secret, because it is kind of a secret. My first tournament, freshman year of college, the day before we left, I didn't go to bed until 3 a.m. and ended up finishing top 10, so contributed for the team.
Okay, there you go.
But yeah, it was one of those, I mean, nothing, like I wasn't like drinking really or anything. It was just like, when you bond with like your friends in the freshman hall, and we were just literally sitting in the hallway chatting. I think I probably FaceTimed a friend, like,
oh my god.
And then I was like, okay, we got to get up at like 7 I was like, I'll pack, I'll be fine. And so I never did that again, because that's a pretty serious when it comes to my preparation.
Hopefully your old coaches are not listening to this.
I mean, honestly, if they are, they'd be fine. They know that I like, get my stuff done.
Like we get it, it's fine.
But so that's
a great one.
That's my little Birdie Little Secret.
Don't do this at home, people.
No, don't. Not sustainable. But because I only did it once.
Yes. That is, I mean, you showed up and you did what you had to do. So and you continue to do so every week, and we love watching it, and can't wait to see what more you do. But thank you so much for coming on and joining us, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Yes, of course. Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, thank you. That was like just such a treat. Like she's just like the nicest girl ever, and we knew having her on this week would be perfect.
I loved being able to talk to her more in such a deeper sense than like what I see her, like her at work and we're just passing
or like over headset. Totally. Like that was the thing too. Like when she shared the story about the hole-in-one, I was like, this is so funny. Like, tell me more. But we were live on air. So, and she also wasn't necessarily telling me the story. She was just telling the story like on air. But I was like, we have to circle back to that because like, God, I just could not imagine if I did that after Ryan went.
I also
almost had
can't
hole-in-one.
imagine that. It was the best story. It was so funny.
That's just like tough for the hubby for sure. Yeah. But excited to see her this week for the Players Championship. Another person we're going to see this week for the Players for the first time.
It's so crazy. This story is so crazy. Karl Vilips, which at the signature event Arnold Palmer, there was a additional event this week. So the Puerto Rico Open, Karl Vilips wins. PGA Tour rookie. First win in just 4 starts.
That's crazy.
4.
And now he's playing in the Players Championship.
Yes.
Like, that's insane.
He is here this week at the Players Championship. Yeah. Quite literally the last spot.
I know. I wish, like I was obviously doing Arnold Palmer, so I didn't get to see as much of it. But it's always fun when you have additional events. It's more opportunities for our players. And it's always like such a big story that comes out of it. So we'll be definitely watching him closely at the Players Championship.
Oh, and watching him closely because he's also rocking Sunday Red.
Oh, yeah. I heard that.
He is the first brand ambassador.
And only, right? I'm pretty sure the only.
I think so.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tiger knows how to pick and choose them, which...
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes. Can you believe that, actually?
Like I wonder how that came about.
Me too. I really want to learn more about that.
Me too.
Because it'd be really interesting to see how that brand...
specifically chose him of all people.
Yeah, of all
and then he wins after 4 starts.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And left Tiger on red.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean, like texting?
Like texting.
Wait. I'm sorry, what?
So I heard that after Karl won, he got a text message that he didn't know the number from and a voicemail, like a missed call and a voicemail.
Hold on. Who did you hear this from?
My sources, Kass.
Okay.
From an article, and Karl was talking about it.
Okay, I was gonna...
My sources.
I heard.
Oh
my God, this is the tea.
From the golf grapevine.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just could not get past that. Continue.
Well, Tiger Woods was left on red.
Okay, he was left on red from your sources.
From my sources.
How?
So after you win, I can imagine so many things are going through your mind.
Naturally.
And Karl was like, yeah, I got a message from Tiger, not from a random number. He didn't know it was Tiger Woods. And he got a call, missed it, and a voicemail was left. Because Tiger Woods, Sunday Red, also, guys, whoever doesn't know, is Tiger Woods' brand.
Yes, I think everybody knows.
I think everyone especially everyone who's listening to this knows. So he went to congratulate Karl.
So he texted him, called him, left a voicemail, and nothing.
And then
my God.
I have the quote here from Karl. I got on my phone after the round and was just scrolling. Like, who's texting me? I think I got one from a random number that called me as well. Then there was a voicemail saying, it's Tiger. And I couldn't process it in the moment. And he's like, I'll get back to that later. But that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I would say that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd say that's
insane. Especially like awesome. When you just get all those random numbers all the time. Yeah. And you're like, you know how like it'll record the voicemail and like transcribe it for you now?
Yes. Yeah.
Like I always just like voicemail and then I'll read it. I'm like, not important. But like I couldn't imagine like doing like the triple take to being like, it's Tiger. Like what if he was being fished?
Like
what if that was a fish?
The voicemail transcription is like, hey, it's Tiger Woods here.
Give me a call back when you can.
Let me know. Like, congrats. Give me a call.
That's crazy. Like Tiger's name should just be like maybe Tiger. Like it should just be embedded in his phone number at this point. Yes. Like why are we even guessing?
Do you think that's how his contact popped up? Maybe the big
Tiger.
Cat.
That is iconic, but maybe I don't know if Tiger will be buzzing around with the players, but
I'll check my sources.
Check your sources, get back to me, have your people call my people.
Perfect.
And we'll obviously share with you guys because Syd has the tea.
Always.
we've been going on and on and on, but it's just so exciting having these cameras. I just can't stop talking. Yeah. But so much to talk about. So many things coming up, guys. We cannot spoil it now, but you have to tune in to all of our social media channels.
You have to, at this point, tell your friends, tell your family. Yeah. Tune in.
Yeah.
Because so much
Something is happening that, from the very beginning when we were back at the drawing board, our main goal was for this to happen. And
I want to say it right now, but we can't. Can't spoil it.
And now it's happening, and we're over the moon.
I know. Very, very excited. Can't wait.
1 year of Birdie Little Secrets, guys. Thank you for sticking with us, and it's just been so much fun, and just so much more to come.
I know, so much more. Can Scotty three-peat is also the question.
That is a question.
We started this podcast and Scotty Schauffele was defending his title and successfully took home the trophy again.
Yeah.
So can he do it for a third time?
I don't know. I think the raviolis effed him up.
I totally forgot about the ravioli.
Yeah. It's tough, but we'll see. We'll see, Scotty.
We'll see. Wow. What a
way to end this episode.
What a way to finish.
Maybe we'll cut that out.
Absolutely not. This is staying. Okay, guys. Well, make sure, again, to catch us next week. We will recap the players for you on cam. You can tune in every Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you enjoyed listening to today's and watching today's episode, please like and subscribe.
We have to plug YouTube now.
Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and now YouTube.
Guys. I don't really know how YouTube works, but
we have no idea.
We're gonna check back soon, and hopefully there's people there following us.
We really hope to see that.
Yeah.
So you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok too, and YouTube.
All the things.
All the things are at Birdie Little Secrets Pod. Thanks, guys. See you next week for more tea.